All right. Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome back to our online session of MCOM 105 Business Communications. Today we shall start with new block, that is report writing. In the previous lecture, we have completed block 3, writing skills. So where we learn how to write letters, memos, notices, resumes, application letters. So those were mostly short and focused documents, right? So today, now we move to report writing, which is for a formal, detailed, structured form of writing. So reports are widely used in business organizations, offices, government departments, and institutions. So uh, a report is not written casually. It is written for decision making. Managers and administrators uh, depend on reports to understand problems, analyze situations, and plan future actions. So, uh, before we uh, move ahead, let's look at the uh, lectures content, today's lecture contents. So, first, we shall do a brief recap of the previous lecture, and then we shall focus on today's discussion, core topics of discussion, and an overview of the two focus areas, and then also learning goals, right? And then we shall discuss all the 3 units, then the assignment questions, and for the next class, and we shall conclude the lecture with the next steps. So now, what is the recap of previous lecture? What have we actually covered? Right? What have we learned? So let's discuss it. So in block 3, as you can see here, there are 4 units. We learn how to write effectively for business purposes. Right? We discussed how to plan a business message, how to write a first draft, how to revise editing, right? Different types of business letters or applications such as request letters, which have also, provided examples, right, from your SLM, sales letters, persuasive letters, collection letters, and so on. And office documents like memos, notices, and circulars are also being discussed, are discussed in the previous lecture. So writing a resume and a job application letters are also covered, and these skills are very important because report writing builds on them. So for example, when you write a leave application or a sale letters, you focus on clarity, focus in more proper format. So similarly, report writing also requires clarity, structure, built on a larger scale. So you can think of it like this, like letters and memos are short writing, and reports are like long and detailed writing. So without learning writing skills, report writing, becomes a bit difficult, right? Complicated. So that is why block 3 comes before block 4, like report writing. So your foundation is like already prepared by now, right? So now we are moving to the next level of professional writing, that is report writing. So now, as you can see here, block 4, there are 3 units, right? First unit deals with introduction, proposal, short report, formal report preparation, and unit 13 deals with sales presentation, training presentations, right? And unit 14 deals with conducting survey speech to motivate. Okay, so before that, let's uh, let's look at the learning goals before we move on to that, right? We move on to the next slides. So the learning goals of today's discussion, of today's lecture are also quite important, because without this, it won't make sense of what we have discussed, right? So that's why objectives and outcomes are always important. So the first objectives, as you can see here, is to understand the purpose of reports and proposals. This means you should know why reports are written and how proposals suggest plans or solutions to problems. So the second objective is to identify different types of business reports. Not all reports are same. Okay, some are short, some are detailed, and some are written for official records. So the third objective is to learn how presentations support business communication. Reports are often supported by presentations, especially in meetings, training sessions, and sale discussions. So the fourth objective is to understand how surveys and speeches influence decision making especially in organizations. And surveys provide data, and speeches motivate people to act. So these objectives tells us what the blog wants to achieve. They also help you understand what kind of questions may appear in exams. Okay, so when you study this blog, always keep these objectives in mind. Ask yourself whether you understand the purpose of reports, the types of reports, and how reports are used in real business situations. So if you achieved this uh, objectives, you will able to write simple reports and understand formal documents used in offices and organizations. So now expected outcomes. Uh, Outcomes tells us what you should be able to do after completing this lecture or this blog. So after this studying or learning this blog, you should be able to prepare simple business reports, as you can see here. This includes understanding the structure and writing in a clear and formal manner. You should also be able to explain the difference between short reports and formal reports. This is very important for examinations. So another outcome is that you should be able to plan uh, basic sales and training presentations. So these presentations are often based on report and data. So you should also be able to understand how survey and motivations work in organizations. Survey help collect information, while speeches help people motivate employees. So these outcomes focuses on practical skills. They are not only for exams, right, but also for real workplace situations. So if you can achieve these outcomes, um, you will feel confident while handling reports, presentations, and survey in professional life. So now let's let's again quickly look at the recap of the previous lecture, block 3. I have already said it in the earlier lecture too, in the earlier. So these are the main things we have discussed in the lecture and in the previous lecture in the block 3 writing skills, right? Like planning a business message, writing a first draft, revise and edit it, right? And then the different types of business letters, request letters, sale letters, best basic collections. Okay, so and official documents like memos, notices, and what circulars, and writing a resume and applications, and so on. So these are the things we have learned in the uh, previous lecture, or we have discussed in the previous lecture. Um, Now, after going through this block 3 lecture, your foundation is already prepared. Now we are moving to the next level of professional writing. That is what? From writing skills to report writing. Okay. So the shift from writing skills to report writing. See, in business communication, not all documents are short. Letters, emails, like memos, are usually brief, right, and deal with immediate communications. So reports, on the other hand, are detailed and formal documents. So they explain why something was done, okay, how it was done, what decisions were taken. Sorry. So reports are commonly used by like managers, administrators, or organizations. So, for example, a memo may inform staff about a meeting, right? A report explains why the meeting was required, what discussions took place, and what decisions were made. Okay, this shows that reports go deeper than simple communications. They involve analysis, explanations, and conclusions. So, report requires clear objectives, proper organizations, accurate information, formal language. So Block 4 prepares you for handling such professional responsibilities. By learning report writing, you become, capable of writing documents that influence, decisions at higher levels. All right. So now let's move on to the next slide. That is Unit 7. So here we have introduction to reports and proposals. So here you see a report is a formal documents or formal written documents that presents information in a clear and organized way. So reports are written they're written to inform, analyze, or support decision making. So, and now on the other hand, you have a proposal is a type of report that suggests a plan, idea, or solution. It is written when an organization wants to start something new or improve an existing system. So, there are different types of report. First, what a proposal. A proposal suggests what should be done. A short report is a brief and focused on specific information. A formal report is detailed, official, and well structured. So reports are important because managers, decision makers depend on them. A well-written report helps in understanding problems and planning future actions. So reports must be factual, clear, and objectives. And personal opinions should be avoided unless actually required at all. This unit, helps you understand the basic nature of reports before learning how to prepare them properly. Right. So now let's understand, the types of reports. Like, let's further try to understand, the proposal, short report, and formal report. So a proposal is written to suggest a new or solution, something new, idea or solution. It explains, what is proposed, why it is needed, and how it can be implemented. All right. And a short report is like a detailed and official. It follows a fixed structure and includes sections such as like introduction, methodology, findings, and conclusions. Right. Formal reports are often submitted to higher authorities. Each type of report serves a different purpose, but all required clarity and proper organization. So understanding these differences helps you choose the correct type of report given situations. So now let's move on to the next slides, that is report preparation process. So report writing is not done in one step. It follows a clear and logical process. The first step is to identify what the purpose of the report. You must be clear why the report is being written. Is it to inform or analyze or recommend something? Without a clear purpose, the report will lack directions. The second step is the collecting information. Information may come from records, documents, surveys, interviews, or observations. So the data collected should be accurate and relevant. The third step is organizing the information. So information should be arranged logically under headings such as introduction, main body, and conclusions. So random arrangement creates confusions. So the fourth step is what? The writing the report itself. So at this stage, you convert information into written form. The language should be clear, factual, and formal. Personal emotions or casual language should be avoided. The final step is editing and revising. So this includes like checking grammar, spelling clarity, and repetitions. A report must look professional before submission. So following these steps, makes report writing more systematic and effective. Skipping these steps often leads to poor quality reports. All right. So next is in the next unit 13, we see sales, presentations and training presentation. Let's now focus on sales presentations first. So a sale presentation is used to persuade customers to buy a product or service. It is an important part of business communications. So the main aim of a sales presentation is to explain the product clearly and highlight its benefits. The speaker must show how the product solves a problem or meets customer needs. So good sales presentation focuses on clear explanation, building trust, understanding customer needs, right? So sales presentations often use reports, charts, and data to support claims. Confidence and clarity are very important. A successful, sales presentation does not pressure customers. Instead, it informs and convinces them logically. Sales presentations plays a key role in marketing and business growth. Before understanding how they work, it's essential for especially like students of commerce or income, right? So try to understand these things properly. So it is not just important for your exams, it is also for important for the actual when you're in a workplace or in a actual practices, right? So try to understand these things clearly. So now